Hey guys, and welcome to the third part and the last part of our knee and ankle mobility series. Today we're going to talk about ankle, how to improve ankle mobility, especially ankle rotation. And we have one case study, again, where we explain some difficulties about common rehabbing, about common rehab of ankle strains. And then, of course, we have two exercises again to show you how to improve ankle mobility. So have fun and enjoy watching. So before we jump into the two exercises, a quick run over what's important when it comes to the ankle mobility, or what comes first if you think about the ankle. A lot of people, especially in the gym area, a lot of people want to improve dorsiflexion. They know dorsiflexion is good for their squatting, for their deadlifts, for their snatches, all that good stuff. But what they don't know is a lot of people have just tight capsules or not enough space in their ankle, and they just smash that weight onto their knees and want to improve dorsiflexion. Just every time, or they stretch their calves to get more dorsiflexion. But what they don't know is to improve dorsiflexion, the linear movement, again, same goes for the knee. You first have to look at eversion and inversion of the ankle. Is there enough rotational capacities, joint space, work space, to be able to get more dorsiflexion? Okay? You have to think about it. If the bone is just here in the capsule and you want to improve the linear motion, which is dorsiflexion, there is no room for that. If you improve the rotation, you can expand the capsule as workspace, and then you can again get better at ankle dorsiflexion. So remember that if you're just trying so hard to improve dorsiflexion, maybe think about eversion and inversion first. Let's think about the case study. What happens to a lot of people, not only in the sports nowadays, in football / soccer, or in any ball-related sport art, team sport art, they sprain their ankle, they twist their ankle. And what do they get as a rehab process? Of course, they get an orthopedic splint. Again, same for the knee, for the ACL rehab I talked about in the last video. They get an orthopedic splint, which don't allow them to go into eversion or eversion, just the linear motion again. Why is that bad? Because when you think about tearing your ligaments here on the side, if you twist your ankle, then there is new tissue, the body builds up new tissue because your body wants to rebuild those ligaments that are just torn. So the new ligaments don't know what they should get or what the cells should produce. They get the information over force. Force is the language of cells, and you dictate by your movement patterns, by implementing force, whether it's internal force by contraction or external force from a physiotherapist, for example. You tell the body or the cells with force what the new stuff there should become, how strong it should get, and how resilient it should get. If you don't tell them anything and get into that orthopedic splint and always do linear movement, and your doctor tells you, oh, don't go in that position ever again, you should not train it, it's likely that you twist your ankle again. Yes, you will twist your ankle again, and the same shit happens again. So just train smart and think about it. Go in that eversion and inversion, in that rotational capacities right away, with small circles, with small cars, with small and light mobility work, and then build up that rehab process. It's so important to build up eversion and inversion again first, before dorsiflexion and plantar flexion. Of course, you are in that orthopedic splint to get your ankle more stabilized, but remove that if it comes to your training and train your eversion as quickly, or inversion as quickly as possible, to rebuild and strengthen your ankle again. So let's jump into the 2 exercises we have for you to improve inversion and eversion, or to improve your ankle rotational capacities.
When it comes to ankle mobility, we have several options, and I want to give you 2 today. Depending on your current level of mobility, you either need to increase your range of motion or strengthen and control the range of motion that you already own. So if we want to increase our range of motion, and we will be focusing on inversion today, so inversion of the ankle, then we go for pails and rails. So usually I just take one yoga block and place my non-working foot on top of the yoga block. This way I can put more force onto the working ankle. And then I can decide, so my leg is bent, and then I can decide to go into inversion, and I decide how much weight and pressure I want to put on the straight standing leg. And then I just stay in my maximum range of motion, passive range of motion, and really lean into that foot. And now I'm in inversion. Make sure you're not leaning too far to the side, because then you're not in one line with your hip in one vertical line. So make sure you're not going into a more horizontal line. And then from here, you're staying to stretch for about 2 minutes. For pails, you actually try to, so pails, progressive angular isometric loading, which is an active component or an active contraction, but isometric. And then you actually try to come out of inversion. Inversion. So you basically try to get back into a standing position. For rails, you actually try to get into more inversion by trying to sweep the outer part of your foot through towards the block. And then you hold each contraction for 10 to 15 seconds. If you already have enough range of motion and you only want to strengthen the range of motion, you don't have to do the pails and rails. With the pails, you have a 2-minute stretch, and then you try to get into more range of motion, and at the end of the 2 minutes you have 2 active components to strengthen the range simultaneously. Let's assume you already have enough range and you only need the control and strengthening part. For that, we have something called a passive range hold, but we'll do it in a more dynamic fashion. So we will be walking while having that hold, and it looks like this. So you have one, you decide on which leg you want to or which ankle you want to work first on, and then you're in inversion with that ankle. The other leg is straight, and then the first thing you're going to do is you'll lift the non-working ankle off, or foot off the ground, and then you have all the weight on the ankle or on the foot that is in inversion. And then from here you step forward. Now you engage all of your leg muscles, your ankle and your foot muscles, and then from here you have that hold, and then you step forward with inversion. And again, second, you have all your weight on the working ankle, and then you lift off, have that hold in inversion, next step. So these were 2 exercises or example exercises of what you can do to improve your ankle mobility. But obviously there is way more to an ankle than only inversion. You can train your plantar flexion, you can train your dorsiflexion, you can train eversion, doing lots of cars variations. These are just 2 examples, and we think inversion is one of the most important thing when it comes to ankle mobility. That's why we picked those 2 exercises. But if you want more information or more input, especially for your ankle, then visit either mine or Jan's, aka MoveFit Monkeys, Instagram. The links will be in the description below, and there you will find plenty of exercises for ankle mobility. So if you enjoyed this video, then leave a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. If you want more information, visit our website. The link is in the description below.